What's up, friends? It's Dirk Strangely, and I'm going to teach you a life hack. Now, people are very divided these days, and if you're friends with a lot of people, you run into issues where they're getting very upset over things that you care this much about. And they're like,
You should care way more. You should be stressed out like me. You should fight with all your friends and your family like me.
but that's not the reality everybody wants to live in. I like getting along with everybody, and I deal with things as they come. So I'd rather live a life of harmony rather than bickering and fighting. It's fun to gossip and talk crazy, talk a little mess every once in a while. But when you let it start getting in the way of your relationships, then it's a problem. And it's not necessarily the world around you's problem, it's your problem because it's your experience. You're the one that's allowing things to control you, especially things that you don't have much control over. So here's a little life hack that you may recognize once we start discussing it. So if you have a friend that wants to talk about politics all the time, let's say he's a conservative, and he's like,
Oh, you know, saw this transgender the other day. This transgender wanted me to refer to it as 33 different pronouns. And I'm not gonna do it.
and then you have your Democrat friends.
Did you hear what Trump just said? He's a Nazi. Did you just see what Elon Musk did? He's a Nazi. Did you see what my dad posted the other day? He's a Nazi.
But both sides really don't realize each side are pretty good people. It's just this ideology that you want to fight over. And it's really stupid because we have very limited control over what other people are doing. And we only have control about what we do. So it's like a lot of times people that are bickering at each other just need to look inward a little more. And what they'll say to you is,
As well, you gotta fight for what's right and fight for what you know is right. Stand up for yourself.
yeah, well, are you standing up for yourself or are you just fighting with your friends and family? Right? Let's use an example millionaires are doing. May affect us in certain ways, but how much control are we really going to allow them to have in our lives? Are we going to let them upset us, like to the point to where we're stressed out and have anxiety and are burning bridges and going on emotional tirades online? Let me tell you, people that are like me, that feel like this division is mom and dad in court and trying to get us to figure out which one we want to live with. And they're both campaigning to us. And mom's like,
Come stay with me. With me, it'll be better. You'll never have to do a single chore. You don't have to do your homework. You can just stay home and chill all day. Yeah, rules suck. Stick it to the man. Yeah, don't go with your dad. He sucks. He's gonna make you do all these things.
and then you have dad going,
You know who the stable one is, right? You know who the one is that's paying all the bills and keeping this thing going that we call life, right? If you go with your mom, I don't know what's gonna happen. But if you come with me, you'll have security. You'll be able to go on vacations. You'll be able to do this and that.
while you're like,
Can we just do what we used to do, when everybody was loved each other? You guys want to do it your way? Okay.
that's how I feel. And I know I'm not the only one. And I've always said I'm not left or right, but I know what I'm not. And I'm not somebody that's going to fight with people that I care about. And it's okay that we have different ideologies. It's okay. And if it upsets you to talk about it, if somebody thinks or feels differently than you, then don't talk about it with that person. If 99% of that person is a person that you love and care about, Don't talk about it. It's not worth fighting. You're being petty if you think that it's something you got to have that fight over. Choose your battles wisely for the betterment of your life and those around you. And here's a little trick you can do for those who just can't control themselves and just don't have the self-awareness to realize that they may be burning bridges and upsetting people around them that they often would care about and wouldn't want to offend, but it's just this one little thing in their ego that makes them think I'm right about this, and if I don't tell you and push it in your face, then I'm not fighting for what I believe in. Some fights aren't worth fighting. Some people are going to watch this video and be like,
well, this is when this happens and this happens.
but these are exactly the people I'm talking about. These are the low IQ people, like people that are very low on the spectrum of social awareness of how their actions and how their own ego allows them to be controlled. So I'm right about this. I know these types of things in life. So if you disagree with me, go ahead and disagree, but just know you are completely controlled by other people. Because if you're getting upset by what I'm saying, then you're being controlled by me right now. I'm not trying to control you, but you give that power away when you do it. So here's a little life hack, a little trick you can do when your friends and your family or acquaintances or just people you meet try to bait you into some sort of ideology debate of theirs or try to push their opinion on you. If someone says,
Oh, Trump did this. Now, all the MAGAs got their chest puffed out now, and they're blah-de-blah.
a good response for that would be like,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I've seen Dave Chappelle. He writes that neutral line really well. He'll go,
Word?
I like his. Word's a good one, but you could say,
For real? Or dang, really?
see, you're not really agreeing with them, but you're not disagreeing, and it's not confrontational, and you're not really giving an opinion into it. Now, if they come out and ask you,
Well, what do you think about all this?
you just change the subject. You'd be like, I think I have dry mouth. And I need water. Or I think that I want to go play Xbox. Or I think I need to work out tonight. That's what I think. And that will communicate to the person that's trying to push it on you. I don't really want to talk about it. I like other conversations with you, but not necessarily that one. I don't want to get into it. It's rude. Because you know what? I grew up, and I'm sure a lot of you grew up with no discussing certain things at the dinner table. Now, the dinner table is really just a metaphor for life because relationships and connections are made over breaking bread. So I think the dinner represents that. It's not literally just dinner. It's a metaphor for life, like people that you care about, that you share connections with in your everyday life. You don't need to have every single ideology difference, a life-changing, relationship-damaging battle. You know what I mean? But it's also important to surround yourself with people that you at least manage these types of relationships with. If someone gets a little too overwhelming or a little too intrusive in my life, I'm out. I know not everybody is in that situation, but I will, if I'm not in that situation, I will always put myself in that situation, position myself to be out because it's just not worth it. I want to be happy with my life. I'm 46 years old, turning 47 this year. I want to be comfortable around the people that I let in my circle. And if you can't play nice and little stupid things offend you, then yeah, I'm not interested, and it has nothing to do with race, religion, color, political persuasion, none of that. It's attitude. It's like common courtesy. It's like a common willingness of getting along and enjoying life with somebody else. I want to be around people that enjoy their life. And some people don't know how to do that. Some people don't have a sense of humor. Some people take things too serious. Some people just have an ego and feel they want to dominate an ideology with everybody within their reach. And those are not people that I want to be around. So again, I suggest for those of you that feel like I do, when somebody brings up race, religion, politics, gender, debates, like anything that's a hot topic, if it's somebody that you care about, maybe just leave that one alone. It's not a fight worth fighting. I know everybody's situation's different, but I think it's a good rule of thumb to follow as closely as you can. Not every ideology difference is worth a fight or a battle with a loved one. Not all of them. Sometimes you just have to accept that someone else won't accept something from you. And it just is the way it is. But you weigh the good with the bad. If the good outweighs the bad, then you make compromises. And if you can't compromise, then you're not a fully functional person. You have things to work on. Because we all have to compromise. If you think I'm wrong about this, you should consider that you're doing yourself a disservice to yourself, because you're not allowing your mind to be open enough to consider maybe you don't have the right perspective yet and everybody around you is wrong. Not everybody around you is wrong. Sometimes you can learn things from people who may have a better perspective than you. And this is your chance to take in some of that perspective that you may need to adjust in your own life. It's only to make your life better and those in your lives better. That's all. Because when you are upset and you are projecting that upsetness, it upsets others. And if little things can trigger you in that way, it's something you need to work on to make the world around you better. That's the fight that's worth fighting. Don't fight to try to change somebody else, because you don't have the power to do that. You don't. What are you, some sort of mighty politician? You some sort of mighty leader? You're not. You're no different than I am. You're just some person existing on this earth. When somebody tries to bring up a touchy subject that you know is going to turn into something, change the subject. You don't even have to come out and say, I don't want to talk about it. You can just make a joke about it. You can be like,
Dang. Okay. Boom. Roasted.
and then change the subject. If they try to pull you into it, make it a little more clear.
Oh, what's my thoughts on that? I'll tell you what my thoughts are on that. My thoughts are, tonight, are we having pizza, or are we going to have some salad, try to eat healthy? Pizza? Okay, cool. We'll get cauliflower crust. Be a little healthier.
So that's my 2 cents on riding the fence with your friends, staying neutral, and really reflecting on what matters and what kind of energy we're allowing around ourselves and what kind of energy that we're putting out. We're all guilty of feeling strongly about something and feeling like we have to fight. But I mean, if we're being honest with ourselves, probably 90% of the ways we feel that way about it's really doing more damage than it is good. So just something to consider. And I only say this because I care about you. I love you. I care about myself. I love myself. I'm going to protect my environment, and I suggest you do the same. You be the environment that other people like being around. And I think the world will become a better place. Fist bump.